Hi, dog.
Hi there.
Oh, God.
Yes. Do you see the dog? Oh, yeah, I can see her in the background. Hey, listen, I just sent you, I forgot. And so I just sent you my books, my two ebooks.
Excellent. That's brilliant. I'm looking forward to that. That's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I should have
And
gotten on it sooner, but things
no,
happen.
that's all good. And what else? I had a quick look at your
The
video.
the
It was busy
channel.
today about the AI and that, and I got some
Yeah,
way through it. And that sounds very good. And
there's a lot of interesting stuff that you can do with
I I think so. And I thought the idea now of even the card today is very good. Oh, we've somebody else here.
it. Yes. Hi, Dee.
Hey,
Hey, we're there. We can see you. We can hear you.
well, good deal.
This is
Took
this
me
is this is Anne Marie, and
Hi, Dee.
Hi.
she's from across the pond.
The
And
green place.
we were talking about I just put out a video on artificial intelligence.
Oh,
How
I
I
saw it.
how
I
I use
watched
I'll tell you, Kate, I think Kate kind of thinks it's a kind of little wonky, but she is such an avid reader of the news, and she does all the political tarot stuff. And
it.
oh,
Hmm.
I only wish I could be, I wish I could absorb all of that like she does, and be able to disseminate it. But alas, we all have our
Well,
fortes, and that wasn't mine.
we
So
all have we all have our strengths. I loved your energy and persona on that AI video.
oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, as I
Yeah.
scolded people.
Well, I didn't get to see all of it. I watched a certain amount, but I just loved the whole feeling of it. You obviously loved what you were telling us about.
Yeah,
I liked that.
I'm kind of adamant about that stuff.
It was a good
Hey,
feeling.
yeah. So Dee, you have this huge snowstorm coming. You had one?
Yes, we had one. It was about 10 inches that we received, about that. And this time we're going to get rain and the snow is going to miss us.
Ah, well, they're saying,
Going to,
yeah, they're saying you're not gonna get as much because it's gonna be too warm.
yep,
So,
yep.
well,
We're
I'm
What's happening here?
we
there.
have so much snow.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
We're
I bet.
sitting we're sitting down here in South Texas. We're down by Padre Island, and it's going to be 94 today,
Ooh.
to possibly 99 today.
Oh,
And
wow.
we have 18-mile-an-hour sustained winds with 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and the whole coach just rocks when that happens. And being in a motorhome, there's a lot of cracks and crevices. There's just no way to. They're not energy efficient at
Mm,
like they should be, or like a regular house is. So it's going to
mm.
get kind of warm down here. Hey, Kate,
How you
Ah, there's
doing?
Kate. Hi, Kate.
how you doing?
Not too bad. Not too
Good.
bad.
Nice to see you. Um,
Good.
Kate, meet Dee, my friend from Minneapolis,
Hi, Dee.
Hi, good to see
and
you.
and Anne Marie from the Vince meetings.
Yeah,
Hi, Kate. Yes, we do. And I
yeah.
watched I went into your Kate's Cafe, Cara Cafe. So I had a look at one of those. I'm not sure which one it was, but anyway, I've been trying to catch up for the last day or two.
Me too. That's terrific. You got what are you doing now, Kate? Are you doing what are you working on today?
Nothing much really. Um, just kind of tooling around, getting some house stuff done.
Well,
You
I
were going
am
to do videos the last day, Kate. The last day
I
when we
did
left
get one
you,
up.
you were
In fact, as I said, as soon as we left, I immediately turned the camera on and I posted it that night. So, and I've done
you
one
did.
since I did a deck review the other day.
Ah, nice.
Well, I'm working on a companion to that last video about AI.
Yeah.
mm,
One where I
yeah, that
scolded everybody, warned everybody. Yeah, I just wanted to. I felt like it didn't really. I didn't really do the action part justice, so I want to do something on that. The one thing that I'm having a lot of trouble with, Kate, maybe I can just schedule a session with you where I can pull up what I'm doing in my software, in my editing, and being able to actually add. I can add titles, but I can't seem to move them around and put them where I need them. So I got to.
Oh, I think so. A lot of that stuff is preset, and I think because I can't do that either with mine, I'm stuck with the positions that they're in. I have probably 20 options, but they are stuck in a particular part, right? And I think those ones that you can move, like finally adjust. I think you're looking at the paid programs for that, and they are very.
Well, what I think what I'm going to do, or what I've been using a lot of, so I can control that, is PowerPoint. I've been doing them in PowerPoint, and then adding them all, on the line, and then just doing, and then I got to figure out how to do a voiceover, but I think I can do that with a different program. Hello, Yvonne.
Hi, I was clicking on the wrong meeting for crying out loud.
That would probably be my fault, because
it was I had the email and it from the other day, and right below was the other invitation. I kept clicking, so why would they let me in?
So listen, I've gathered you all here today because when I put out a book, a 3-card practice workbook, where I gave 100 3-card readings for you to fill in, and then a key in the back with my definitions, or just my rendition, or my interpretation. And I asked Kate to proof it for me, and after it was all over and done with it, I posted it, and I'll put that information down below because I'm going to post this video. She said to me, she made a comment to me, it's interesting how we differ on the Knight of Cups. And that was the whole basis for this, because I thought, wow, what an interesting discussion that would be for a group of tarot readers. And so here we are today. So what I'd like to do, since this is the first one, I'd like to start by just going around and talking, just saying, who we are, where we're from, and how long we've been reading tarot. So, Yvonne.
Okay. Okay, hi, I'm Yvonne, and I have been dealing with the tarot since 1987. So I have different views on the definitions, and I don't know, what else can I say about myself?
You're from Seattle, right?
Yes, I'm from Seattle.
Okay.
Outside of Seattle, yes.
And didn't you start reading professionally this year?
Well, yes, this year. I've been reading for a long time, but professionally this year, yeah.
Yeah, I was so excited for you when you were going to do that. Kate.
Well, I'm from Atlantic, Canada, right? So next door to Maine, and I first started with tarot cards probably in my early 20s. I learned from the Little White Book in the Rider-Waite-Smith thing, because I didn't know anybody that read tarot cards. And I was reminded a few years ago how much I loved them by somebody. And I picked them up again, and it was like I fell in love all over again.
And your forte is political tarot. I mean, you do a lot of, and I know you're branching out right now, but you have a Kate Tarot Cafe, and that's on YouTube, your YouTube channel, and that's where you post a lot of videos. That's your bag.
Political tarot and economic tarot and that sort of stuff is really my bag.
Well, it'll be fun because I know this year you're making changes, so it's going to be fun to watch and see what you do. Anne Marie.
Well, I'm probably listen, I'm interested in tarot only since about 2015. And since then, I've been delving into it. I've done readings online and by email. But so far, I haven't broken into any great face-to-face ones, apart from friends and family. So maybe that should be, this was going to happen a year or two ago when COVID hit. I had great plans for both teaching tarot and reading tarot. And here we are.
Here we are.
But
Dee.
it's so interesting. It's so interesting. And the more you see it, and the more you think about it, and the more you read about it, it gets more interesting all the time instead of less.
I
You
know.
learn more new things that you didn't see before, didn't think of before, and you have all these aha moments, which are great.
Yeah, I keep waiting. I mean, I've been reading professionally since 2015, and I keep waiting for when I feel like I can call myself a pro instead of an intermediate, because I'm always learning something new. Now, you are in Ireland now?
I'm in Ireland. Yes, this is where I live permanently.
Yeah, you're back from the Riviera or wherever you were. We were.
That's it. I was.
visiting with you
Oh,
last time.
it was fabulous over in Spain. It just happened on a nice, gorgeous, sunny week. It can be different in March there,
Yes.
but nice, gorgeous, sunny week. So now we're back here and we have plenty of rain, but we're used to that.
So Dee,
Yes.
tell us where you are and how much or how long you've been reading. And
Well, I'm in the Minneapolis. I'm just outside of Minneapolis in an area called Medicine Lake. And as far as reading, I really got into it in 2013, but I have cousins who are channelers, writing books. Glenna Dietrich was a cousin who was quite the channeler back in the day. And we started back then as teenagers. We were the same age. And now I have her cousin who was a medium. And I just have to say the tarot has probably been one of the most magical things that has come into my life since that 2013 time slot, and keeps feeding me more and more and more. I have 6 grandchildren, all teenagers, and they have grown with me, and I don't read professionally. I've been called a few times here and there to go and read, but mine is basically right here in my house.
and you and I worked together. That was your first professional event, and of course I threw you into a huge festival where we had 2 lines going all day long, didn't we? That was amazing.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I'm in South Texas now, and I'm still affairs and festivals reader. I don't care how you look at it, but now that I've got my YouTube channel, I'm trying to do other things. But today, I wanted to I won't draw this out. We'll keep it at around 30 minutes, but I wanted to talk about this Queen of Cups thing, the Knight of Cups thing. Now, I have always looked at it as invitations, proposals, and travel. I don't know. There's just something about him that I don't know. I just don't personify that card as much as other people do. But I do have a softer look. But I wanted to start with Kate, because Kate has a very, very different look on him, and I kind of want to go around and hear what everybody has to say about him.
Well, I don't know how many other people read reversals, which I do. So I see that Knight of Cups, he's kind of can be very creative and romantic and charming and imaginative and all those kind of good things. But there's an undercurrent with him, and he can be very unrealistic, jealous, at his most extreme, disconnected from reality, like this over imaginative. He's ruled by his emotions, and he can become very deceptive and manipulative if he is so inclined to go that way.
Yeah. I think overall, I don't trust him. I think he's just too clever to be unaware of what he's doing. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't trust him.
Anybody else want to jump in on that? What do you think, Anne-Marie?
Before we decided to speak about this today, when I looked at the card, in my mind came up this, how do you say it? A silver tongue smoothie. That he'll tell you, he knows exactly what to say in any occasion. He will make you feel good always, but it's for his own ends he will make you feel good. And he's someone that would be very nice to know if you didn't have to depend on him for anything. So long as he will run a mile from any type of problem or that. So long as everything is running smoothly, he can be very good company. But I would think I would always get the feeling of him being quite shallow. But as Kate was saying, knows what's going on. He knows he has the whole scenario in front of him. But then when I read up about it a bit, I saw kind of a different take on it. And I think it was June Bunning was saying this, that how he's a defender of his suit, and he's very emotionally vulnerable.
Mhm.
Yeah, I see that a lot. I hear, I read about him being naive, or the message,
Naive.
don't be naive. And it's like, I think of the Page of Cups when I think of the naivete. But
Yes.
one thing I do like seeing is in a relationship reading, it can be a sign of emotional immaturity. So,
Yes, I
you know,
agree. I agree
I
that he's
think
not
I
someone.
don't think he's
I don't think he's
naive,
someone
but
you
I
can
think
depend on.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't think he's someone. To me, he's not someone you can depend on. He will.
No.
He will. He will. He's water, and he's typical water. He goes with the flow. And
Yay.
it's his flow. And even looking at the card, I was looking at the card, and you see where his element is water, but he's riding high above the water. He's keeping way above any of these elements, that any of these feelings that might be uncomfortable for him. And even his
Right.
horse is very slow. The horse, the hoof is very tentative about feeling the ground. And he's on dry ground. He knows there are emotions down there. He looks, the knight looks, and he sees there are emotions passing him by. But does he want to know about them? I don't think so. He
Interesting.
just wants to be comfortable in himself. And
Hey,
he's not so comfortable in his emotions.
Yvonne,
Yeah.
what do you want
Wow.
to put in here?
Okay, well, this is really interesting. So when I think about the court cards, I see the pages as being the youngest, the knights being somewhere, not quite mature as the kings, right? So so when I see the Knight of Cups, I think yes, he represents emotions, because he's a cup. But he also represents some kind of honor because he's a knight. Okay.
Mhm.
When you think about the the fact that he is a water cup, an emotional cup, there may be some immaturity there where he is not, not 100% reliable, as they say. I don't necessarily read the cards in reverse, but if you wanted to look at it in that aspect, depending on what's around, your the rest of the cards, yeah, this is someone who is very sweet, very emotional, maybe not ready to be, fully responsible. Okay. Also, he's a person who brings news, because, an action, what kind of action is he bringing?
He's bringing the action of his suit, is he not?
Well,
So,
that's emotions.
yeah, so
That
I
would
have
be
written
emotions.
down here, it's movement of emotion. So someone is either moving towards you or away from you that you care about. Somebody you care about is either coming or going.
If you're talking about him representing an actual person, yes.
Yeah.
If you're talking about an action, what is the action
Yeah.
that this person's bringing? So yeah, I see the Knight of Cups not so, in not such a negative way. But it, like I said, it just depends on whatever is around and what the actual question is,
Sure,
and
context.
how you would take it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Dee, how about you?
Well, yeah, I'm with Yvonne. It's what's around him. And you know how I like to throw clarifiers. I'm great at that, because if that night comes up and I throw a clarifier of some kind, and it happens to be, I'll say, a wand, business career. It means contract's probably going to stop. And if I need to push something to move business wise, that cup, he's my weakest link. And he kind of sets me back a little bit. But if romantic, yeah, he's emotional, and he'll cry with you if need be, but he's still learning.
Yeah.
He does.
I
Yeah.
see
To
him,
me,
and
he's not up.
Sorry?
I see him as kind of passive aggressive
Mm.
personality.
Well, I tell you, do you know, I came across when I was looking up bits, I came across this somewhere, and it was, this is someone who wants. I hadn't thought it like this at all. This is someone who wants to reach out and hand you something. He's offering you the cup, but he's handing it to you. It's an offer. He's sitting back on his horse. He's not going forward with it. So he's kind of in a defensive way. He's offering it to you, but he's probably too defensive to succeed with his offer. And to really receive the gift he's trying to give you, you need to reassure the rider enough to encourage them to dismount from their high horse and remove their emotional armor.
Yeah, there you
Oh.
go.
There you go.
I liked that, and something
I like
I
that.
had never necessarily thought about with him.
Yeah.
But that he is on his high horse, isn't he? Or
Yeah.
if it's a different type of reading, it depending again on the question, as you were saying, it could be, are you being encouraged to get down from your high horse about something and look at
Yeah.
things a bit more realistically? What
Yeah.
emotional hang up have you got that's making you stay up there and isolate yourself from something good that's being offered to you?
Exactly.
So it depends very much on the question and very much on the situation, as do all the cards. I think they only come to life when there's a question asked of them. Up to that, they're pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So does anybody, does everybody here know what Tinder is?
Yes.
Heard of it, yes.
We're all older, so
Tinder, is that what you said?
we're not on dating websites right now, but Tinder is kind of like a, it's like a dating app or whatever. So I read an article, and I found this, and I just wanted to say it because I thought you guys might get a kick out of this. There's an article called "The Age of Tinder Meanings," for the tarot cards. And
Yeah, interesting.
in this article, she said about the Knight of Cups, they have started a relationship, talked about meeting your parents next weekend, named your hypothetical 3 kids and puppy, all within the first 2 weeks, then disappeared overnight, leaving you wondering what went wrong. You did nothing wrong. It's just the way he rolls.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. I would think he could give you a huge bouquet of flowers or a ticket for a theater or some big event, and he would feel quite justified in maybe not paying the electricity bill or something to fund that, because this was the important thing, was to get this good message across.
So
What I would think.
when I think of these cards, all the cards, I think of what is the message that the Knight of Cups has to bring. And some of the things that I think of on what is the message is it's looking at a way to connect with others, because he is emotion, he is water, he is intuitive, he is of that suit. And so I think it's about connecting and or moving towards someone. What do you guys think of when you think of the message? Or maybe even, I'm sorry, a sign of a change. So that, because knights, are constantly changing where they're going and what they're doing, and maybe just maybe a change coming in when it comes to lover relationships. Anybody else?
I think he can be an instrument of change, because
Yes.
come to the defense of the Knight of Cups. He's the guy that if you have a sticky situation where you need the diplomat, where you need somebody who can, pour the oil on the roiled waters and that sort of stuff and calm things down. He's got the emotional, the EQ to kind of, settle things down. He is going to eventually become the King of Cups.
Exactly.
So if you have somebody that has those diplomatic skills, and you have a sticky situation where you need somebody who can bring out a resolution, maybe not 110% absolute truth, but allows everybody to say face, man, the Knight of Cups is your man. He's the one that you can send into that diplomatic situation, and he comes out and everybody's shaking hands instead of firing bombs.
Yeah.
Especially if he's not emotionally involved.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
I think he has all the skills. I feel if he's emotionally involved, he would run a mile. But I think if you bring him into a situation where it doesn't matter to him one way or the other, where he's all an outsider, he will be able to know exactly what to say, how to read people, how to get them back in their proper boxes. But I think if you're trying to deal with somebody who's emotionally involved in the situation, it could be a different story.
So, so Dee and I like to compare combos. We like to look at combinations of cards and stuff. And I found one for you today, Dee. It is the Knight of Cups and the Two of Swords. And
Knight
it
of
would
Cups.
be the offer leaves you undecided.
Wow,
Oh,
interesting.
there you go.
You're the one, yeah. We're always passing this back and forth. So
Okay.
yeah. So I know it's hard. I didn't want to bother with context today. I didn't want to bother with bringing a lot of stuff in. But I do agree that it, like in a work context, that he is probably going to be the one to ride in and calm feathers and then ride back out. So I can picture him doing that.
Good PR man.
Yeah, he'd be a good PR. That's an excellent.
Yes, good
Yeah, that's
PR
excellent.
man.
He'd be a PR man. I'm always looking for new ways of looking at these cards.
And a great representative. He will always be dressed immaculately and presenting things as they should be presented. He will be very conscious of etiquette, and as Lynn was saying earlier, he will know what to do and how to do it.
That is so interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, and but again, it's like we were talking. He has his bad boy side. They all do. I think all the knights do. But I think he'll I think he plays on emotions. I think he uses that. That's that manipulative side that Kate was talking about, is he'll play on the emotions. But I just think there's so much, the knight, which is action, and the cup element of water or of emotion. I mean, there's a lot that can be done with that, in a reading.
And he's a knight. And who doesn't like a knight in shining armor?
Yes,
Mm.
exactly.
And he's the Knight of Cups. I mean, that right there, that says a lot. That, I mean, if it's a read about a relationship, well, he's
He's your guy.
he's your guy. He's hot. He's
Yep.
he's the guy that's bringing it. He's bringing the emotion. He's telling you you're beautiful. He's, is he a silver tongue? Maybe, but maybe not. It just it just depends. Like, again, how this reading is going. Because if someone were to come and ask, and this card comes up, I mean, look at this card. I mean, he's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's
Yes.
gorgeous, and he's offering you the Holy Grail, for Christ's sakes. I mean, that.
Problem is, I think he thinks he's gorgeous too.
And there's nothing wrong with accepting that you are gorgeous, okay? Because we
Right.
all are,
Yeah.
in one way or another. But yeah, it totally depends on the. I'm a romantic. I'm sorry, so I like this card. I think this is a great card. Could it be a messed up card? Could it be a card of falsehood? Yeah, it could be. And it's not necessarily so much the knight that's that is being false, or maybe it's the person who's asking the question. Are they being naive? Are they dreaming? Are they like full of this fantasy world
Yes.
that that they cannot see? They cannot see what's really in front of them, and and maybe this card is there to tell them. It's like, open your eyes, snap out of it, wake up, come back down to earth, and you know, and everything that you know, again, everything that is around this card will help that, you know, help you to get to that answer, you
Right.
know. And so, I mean, it could be a perfect
We look at
card. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I'd like to, we just hit the 10-minute mark. I would very much like to continue with like this type of thing. Also, if you all are interested, I would like, Dee and I talk a lot about clarifiers, and I tease her a lot because she has turned clarifiers into a bona fide way of reading. And I mean, you just do it so differently from everybody else I've seen. And that's why I think it's so fun. But I'd like to maybe have a talk about clarifiers and have Dee maybe explain. So maybe next time that we get together, we could talk about clarifiers, you know, the good,
Yeah.
the bad, the ugly.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
How's that sound? So,
Yeah.
You're clarifying.
yeah, so I saw, thank you, Yvonne, for sending your play. You just had your play, you know, written and performed recently, and you sent that, and that is so awesome. I'll send it to the other to people who haven't had it. But it's really terrific, and you're working on your Etsy shop, right? You're working on getting your stuff going, your box.
Eventually, yeah. Yes, my
Great.
boxes. I didn't bring any with me. They're in the other room, but I promise I'll bring them next time.
Great.
Awesome.
It's a long commute.
Yeah, I mean, it's boxes to hold your just tarot cards and stones and everything.
Yeah.
You just do beautiful
Anything
boxes.
you want.
Kate,
Yep.
what you got going
Yeah.
on? You're still you're cranking out videos. Kate,
Yeah,
Tarot
I'm
Cafe.
working one right now on the Turkish-Greek political situation.
Oh,
which
great.
is-
Okay.
So I'm doing Turkey now and Greek probably next week. They're
Oh,
both
wow.
coming up for election.
I'll
Dee,
be looking.
you're certified Reiki, and what are you're working on something new, are you not? Aren't you playing with some new
Who are you talking to?
you?
Are you talking?
Talking to me.
Yeah, Dee, you were working on something new or working with something because you do
Oh,
Reiki, you do tarot, you do Lenormand.
Yeah, yes, I do those. Basically, I am working with and it's Funky D tarot spells. And what stones should be working with, or crystals working with different cards, and how they connect, and go from there.
That would be
Sounds good.
terrific.
And
I know this gal in New York that's in a lot of Vince's meetings, Laura Yelly, and she trains on or she teaches the crystal grids, but she's working on crystals for divination. And so we should maybe we could do something on that sometime. Anne Marie, what are you working on this month?
I'm what I'm interested in and have been for years, but it's not tarot. But all of these things are energy, and they're all created. I'm sure because you're from that part of the world. Are you familiar with this lady?
What is her name? I can't.
Her name is
the name.
Brandon Bays,
Uh-uh,
and
not familiar.
anyone know this? No.
No?
Anyway, her type of therapy thing is the journey, and it's about. No, I can never remember what it is, but it's about our cellular memories we have that are causing problems to ourselves as we pass on. Little memories we've had over our whole lives might be big or small, but they're causing us problems. And her system is about you can do an internal investigation and clear out some of that
Shadow
stuff
work.
that's causing you a problem. And I must say I love that. I've been involved in that now since 2006 about, and it's good. You know, it's so I like that type of thing. And again, to do Reiki, and that I do Reiki and IET, which is integrated energy therapy, and that type of thing. And
Terrific.
and if people know what's this now? The Work. Anyone know The Work? What The Work is? I'm trying to think now. Byron Katie. Does anyone know Byron Katie?
No.
These are all from your neck of the woods, ladies.
I know.
I think.
We don't get out much.
No,
I guess. What is our
So,
problem?
So this is good. These were all type of connected, because they're all about taking back your power as a person, you know, finding out if something is bothering you, why is it bothering you? Is it a belief that you're believing, in all honesty? But it's not even your belief. You're just believing it because something you heard your uncle twice removed said it, and you've taken it on now as an absolute belief. So it's all about clearing out your system, getting rid of the rubbish that you don't need, that's actually draining the energy that you have and you need to move forward in your own life. So
Here's something to add to that. You know, there's a full moon coming.
Yes, on the 6th.
And with that, you know, you can release whatever is not serving you during that time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I
you
still
know,
have
and
to-
that's
I gotta figure out a place to put all my crystals. This is the only like weird ritual thing I do, is on a full moon, I take all the crystals I have everywhere and all my stones, and I put them in direct view of the full moon. And in a motor,
that's
it makes it a little hard to do that. So
Yeah.
I might just set up a table outside and put them all out and hope nobody, you know, steals that.
you do. And if it's rainy or yucky, you can put them inside a Ziploc bag. It'll work.
That's
Yes.
good.
Just put it
Because
out
some of
there.
my crystals I don't want to get water on, you know, because some of them will.
Oh yes, some of them will disintegrate, won't they? Do you have a skylight in your motorhome, Lynn?
No, thank God we don't, because everybody I know.
But you
that
have a
has them, they
dashboard.
leak.
But you have a dashboard.
So listen, let me say that the book, The Journey, the book you were showing us, Anne Marie.
Yes.
Would you send me a link, or send me that information and the author, and then I'll put it down below on the video. How's
I
that?
surely will.
Kate,
I
I'll
surely
put
will.
your link. And
Yes.
and if you anything you want to send me, if you think it might be worthy or important, anybody,
Yeah.
everybody, I'll put it in the link. I have two new ebooks out on my Etsy shop. I'll put that down below as well. And I'm just working on 3-card, just training sessions and practice sessions right now.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing when you were explaining about going through the cards, picking out what's the basic action they do.
Yep, and that's my next video. I'm going to do like a whole series of that in this next video that I'm working on right now. So
see, if we could get little things that are helpful, this is a very small thing to ask someone to do, to go through the
it
cards.
really is, but they work.
And put in action. And yet suddenly the cards will come to life. You'll open this and you say, he's moving, or he's not moving. So why isn't he moving? Do I need to pull back? You know, like I was thinking of the Knight of Pentacles. He's stood there and he's not going anywhere in a hurry, but he's keeping his eye on the main point.
Right.
So,
Okay,
is it action or inaction?
Right. We're out of time. Thank you for joining me today. This has been fun. I will we'll do the next one on clarifiers. How's that? Will that work?
Clarifiers sounds
great.
And
All right.
when are we doing the next one? When are we doing the next one, Lynn?
I'm going to say the last Tuesday of this month.
Last Tuesday.
And then we'll try to do it the last Tuesday of the month. How's that?
Okay,
Sounds like
last
that.
Tuesday of April.
Right. Well, all right.
Okay.
And you guys,
Oh,
it
good.
was fun. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys next time.
Lovely to meet everybody.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.